Radio Rec LLC, True School Hip Hop since 2009. These are my 25 rules for engagement for any independent artist. Rules that I think that you should use, to make a full-time living, so you're not running around here letting these quote-unquote gurus and quote-unquote industry, so you're not chasing the industry, so you're actually building a business. So this is what these rules are about. Radio Rec LLC, True School Hip Hop since 2009. And we've gotten to, rule number 12. And just to recap, these are 25 rules. So we're almost halfway through it. And, so if you really want to know about this podcast and what it's about, real quick, do you really want this life? My name is Uni V, and I'm going to give you the real truth about being an independent recording artist. These are my stories that I wish I had when I first got started, to understand that it truly takes 20 years to be an overnight success. And I'm just going to run through the rules that we got up to so far. So we got to rule number 1, which I learned in 96, never get drunk before or during your recording session. Rule number 2 in 97, I learned this one, everyone's ambition isn't the same, accept it. Rule number 3, I learned in 98, experiment to find your sound. Rule number 4 in 99, I got that in 99, if you think you got what it takes, invest in yourself and trust the process, trust your process. Rule number 5, I got in 2000, right? Write, record, publish, because you need feedback. And then we got to rule number 6 in week 6, which was 2001, dream big. Keep your head in the sky and both feet on the ground. And then in rule number 7, we did 2002, which I got the lesson in 2002 about perform. Then rule number 8 was in 2003, no audience, you need to find one. And then rule 9 in 2004, that's when I learned it, are you competing with the market? Rule number 10, which I learned in 2005, is to double down on your efforts if you really want results. And then rule number 11, which was just last week, I learned in 2006, practice until it becomes automatic. Now, you can find all these episodes on YouTube, at my YouTube at univsolmc, right? The same as my URL, same as all my social media. You can find all these rules, all the episodes and stuff like that. Hey, what's up, Alan? Yo, thanks for checking in. I'm trying to get this TikTok thing going on the side. I got TikTok going on the side while I'm recording the podcast. I'm not new to podcasting. I am new to doing the live on TikTok, and I'm kind of new doing it at the same time. So, don't mind me if I don't always turn my head to the TikTok, because, my podcast thing, I'm trying to, make sure I'm focusing and give you the most juice possible. But never mind all that. Let's get to rule number 12, 07. I learned this in 07, that age is not a factor when you're running a marathon. And I think that this is important, right? Because, the music industry will have you feeling like you're too old. They'll have you feeling like you're too old when you're 19. They'll have you feeling too old when you're 24, when you're 29, when you're 30. They'll always tell you, well, if you haven't did X, Y, and Z by this amount of time, then you're too old to do it. And as you see, I hold my ground and I stand my ground on what I believe in, because I've been doing this since a kid. Since a teenager, and now I'm in my 40s. I got gray hair and all. And so I want to show and prove that you can make a living in music, because I make a full-time living in music. I have 3 daughters. I'm married. So you can make a living, but you have to not chase the industry. You know what I'm saying? You have to focus on your craft and make something, you know what I'm saying? To me, it was always about making something timeless. And if you're making something timeless and you're not following trends, then you never have an issue. This is not a sports thing, right? With sports, there is a thing that you're going to have to get off the court. But we talking about music. We talking about being creative. As long as your mind is intact and you're being creative, you can keep creating until you're 99. You can go all the way to your deathbed with it. That's the beauty of this thing. So, I'm making this episode, like I said, I learned it in 07. And the reason why I say I learned it in 07, because around this time, right before 2007, I was part of, in that wintertime in 06 going into 07, I was part of a iStandard showcase. iStandard showcase, you might know Jay Hatch and DJ Bedtime, Remy Ma's official DJ, Drawzilla, and man, I can't think of everybody that was part of it. I apologize for everybody that I can't remember. But so I did a showcase back then, right? And the showcase was in Philly, and I won the showcase in Philly. And what was ill is that, people were coming up to me, talking to me, different things. And then somebody came to me, said they were from some kind of publication or something in Philly. And at the time, they asked me how old I was. And I think at the time, I think I'm either 28 or 29 at this time. And you know what I'm saying? And I smashed everybody at the showcase. Yo, I'm just going to say what it is. I mean, everybody said it. I won, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, anyways, the person that came up to me was like, yo, how old are you? And when I told him I was 28, I was like, oh, you too old. And, you know, and then even from there, I used to hear Envy on the radio back then. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he thinks now, but I used to hear him on the radio back then. It's like, oh, if you don't get this done, if you're not popping after 5 years, 10 years or whatever like that, it's a wrap for you. And, you know, people, that was a common thing. And I've watched a lot of artists, you know, from young and get older and get frustrated because they felt like they didn't hit the marks that they wanted to do during, you know, whatever age. At this age, you're supposed to. And it's a big load of crock, yo. There's no age limit to this. Matter of fact, you're just getting into your groove. I think I'm better than I ever been in my 40s, right? Because when I first started rapping, yo, my thing was like, it wasn't tight. I was a little bit fumbling around, copying other styles and stuff like that. I think that you really get into your zone and get into your craft if you've been working on it the whole time and not chasing industry and really working on whatever it is, your musicianship, your writing, your recording, whatever it is. I feel like if you're focused on making timeless music and running the marathon and working on your craft, you can't go wrong. There is no age limit. You might not be for the industry, but that doesn't mean that you know what I'm saying, you don't have value. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole, and if you notice out here on the internet, there's a whole big world for creatives. The world is opening up for artists right now, but you had to stick it out, right? I know too many artists that didn't stick it out. And again, and you know, as an artist, you have so many hang-ups. The way that you look, is your stuff good enough? Imposter syndrome. And then you got all these, you know, you have to pay for all these different things. And then you get all this feedback, and then people are always trying to twist and turn you. You're just trying to get your art out there, your music out there. And people say, I could do this for you, I could do that. And you just got to, you got to do like this, you got to do like that, you got to do this and that. And I'm telling you, yo, you don't have to do none of that. And I'm living proof. You don't have to do what you have to follow your path. Yo, you have to stick true to however your music is, you need to stick true to that. You don't copy nobody. You focus on making timeless music. Look at these. I got records right here. I don't know how many records. I got a lot of records. And the one thing when I go and I listen to the records, people, I mean, yeah, you do hear some copycat on the records, but then you go and you listen to the records from the 40s and the 30s and, you know, the 50s, and you start seeing, man, like, yo, what were they pulling from? You know what I'm saying? They might be pulling from other artists, but they're putting their spin on it. And I think that, yo, you don't have to follow no trends. Again, and that to me was why I fell in love with hip hop when I was younger too. Like now hip hop is kind of weird because mugs are actually copying each other. And it was never a thing that you were supposed to, you know, how we said it, you was never supposed to bite nobody. I don't care if somebody had the same hat as you put your own little spin, your flavor to it. And that's putting your own little spin, your flavor to something and not following trends, that's what makes things timeless. That's what makes things classic. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, and so when it comes to this music thing, yo, you can always be classic and timeless, not following the trends. And age is never an issue. Some of the music that, you know, you think about it, some of the music that you like is from different age groups. Some people are younger than you. Some people are older than you. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us have listened to music that was not in our age range. You know, a lot of our parents' music that we appreciate, maybe even our great-grandparents' music. And it goes to show you something. And a perfect example is one of my favorite artists of all time, Stevie Wonder. Right? We still, you know, there's people that weren't even alive when Stevie Wonder first started, but we sing his music. Same for Michael Jackson, same for James Brown. I'm giving you some of my favorites. Look at how much hip hop has, you know, sampled from George Clinton and Parliament. A lot of people wasn't even around when he got started. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that goes to show you. Look at how hip hop embraced, again, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. That brother is, I mean, he's a senior and he still gets busy with different generations, right? His age group and all the way down, right? Everybody know about P-Funk. So that's what I'm trying to say is that there is no, if you're dope, you're dope. That's all you have to focus on is being dope and being super dope and being yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't control how many people are going to like your stuff. You can't control that. You know what I'm saying? You can't control how it sells. But even though you can't control the records or the art that you make, how it's going to sell, you can build up your craft so that you can get paid for your craft, if that makes sense. Like I got super nice on this microphone. And you know what I'm saying? I've been using this microphone for damn near 3 decades. And I got so super nice on the microphone that I actually get paid for vocals. and that thing didn't start happening for me until my late 30s, going into my 40s. You see what I'm saying? But had I let people talk me out of what I was doing, oh, you didn't make it here and this and that. Or if I would have listened to any of those people, I wouldn't have continued to work on my craft. I would have did what I saw so many people do. It's like, oh man, I'm taking a break from music. I'm retiring. And then they stop. How can you retire if you never had a career to retire from? You see what I'm saying? They let people talk them out of it, and then they're not doing anything for 5 years. Now, how does that work when you have somebody that's working on it every single day, all the time? That's what it takes to get better. You already got to do your job anyways. So if you say you're an artist, do your job. Don't focus on the industry. The industry is the industry. But if you say that you love music and you love this art, you know what I'm saying? Then go all in on it. And it doesn't matter if you have one machine, I remember starting on a 4-track recorder. A great song is a great song. You know what I'm saying? And if you haven't learned how to make a great song yet, then focus on that. Don't focus on chasing, because I'm telling you, the more you chase, there's too many gurus out here and there's too many people saying that they could do things for you, and they will gladly take your money. Right? This is an easy thing for you to lose a lot of money, especially for artists, right? Because the artist has to, if you're not writing the songs, you have to pay the songwriter. If you're not making the beats, you got to pay for the beats. If you can't mix, you got to pay for the mix. You got to pay for the mastering. You got to pay for the graphic arts. You got to pay for the promoter. You got to pay for the marketing. You can go on and on. So, and it's like, you can lose your shirt real quick. You know what I'm saying? By listening to other people. But all I'm telling you is that focus on being great, and then focus on learning the business, right? So, and age really won't matter, because if you know how to make money with your craft, who's going to say what to you? Who's going to say that because money talk, right? Because we all need money. We all got to pay our bills, right? So money talks. So I don't care if you're a 60-something-year-old artist, right? And you're just now getting your break at 60 years old. And people, oh, you too old to rap, you too old to sing, you too old to do this and X, Y, and Z. Well, look, if you enjoying it and you doing your thing, hey, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And then do it to death. And then if you found a way to get paid from it, who's going to tell you what? And that's why I made up these rules, baby. You know what I'm saying? I made up these rules like, if you're an artist that just wants to do it as a hobby, you go and do it as a hobby. This information I'm giving to you, I'm giving it to you because it's like, too many times as artists, we've been pushed back, I'm taking advantage of. And, this is our time right now. I firmly believe that. You know what I'm saying? Wholeheartedly believe that. And like I said, I'm living proof. So what I'm trying to say, whether you're a 60-year-old artist or a 16-year-old artist, age is not a factor. But, because we are running a marathon, we need to make timeless music and we need to learn this business. Right? Because you got to think about it. The music that you're making is your intellectual property, and that copyright lasts your lifetime plus 75 years. And that copyright goes on to your family. It can go into your family forever. So you have to learn the business. You have to learn the business. There is no that you're not going to learn the business. If you want longevity, this is what you got to do. Now, if you want something else and you want some quick fame and you looking for somebody else to do something for you, these guys will play mind games with you, and they will make you feel like you're too old for this. They'll make you feel like you're inadequate. Maybe you're too fat. You don't got the look. You don't got the style. Blah, 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 blah. They'll tell you a whole bunch of stuff and have you down in the dumps ready to quit it all. And I'm telling you, it don't got to be like that. So, I'm not going to go keep ranting and raving. This was rule number 12 that I learned in 2007. Age is not a factor when you're running a marathon. And I mean, just keep that in mind. I know I touched on a lot of things that were, I guess, surrounding that narrative, that concept. But keep it in mind, age is not a factor. If you're focused on your craft and you're focused on making timeless music, okay, focus on making timeless music, those classics every single time, and focus on the business. You have to focus on the business. How else are you going to buy your equipment, your practice, all the things that you need as an artist? If you can get one part of your craft to help pay for that, it beats you going to a job and taking your job money to pay for it. Make music eat itself so you can keep improving and growing as time goes on. Okay, don't play with this, man. You could do it. I'll talk to you later. And for the folks on TikTok that check me out, I appreciate all you guys. Thank you. Peace.